Cheers. By the way, my sperm doesn't work anymore.
He was like, oh,
No! Like it's sweet, but then
The night before, like, sedap lah, dek. The next morning when you're sober, like, oh my god, kenapa ada sosis?
from mental health to anal health.
Hello, welcome to the show where the conversation gets spicier than the samba. I'm Arieff.
Yes, and I'm Ryan, and this is
Nasi, Lemak, Day.
Our guest for today's spicy chat is part grump, part genius, and fully equipped to make you laugh about life's toughest topics.
Yeah. And today, he's taking on mental health with jokes so sharp they could come with a warning label. Give it up for the one and only Kavin Jay.
Hey!
Thank you for that very long intro and reading my whole Wikipedia page.
Thank you, ChatGPT.
So what we're going to do today, we have a bunch of sambals in front of us,
Okay.
which steadily get more and more spicy. For people watching, how good are you with spicy food?
As a Malaysian Indian, I'm supposed to be good, but I do have digestive problems.
Oh.
Which, you know, I will pay for later. It's okay. It's okay.
Let's open our nasi lemak. We'll
Yeah,
start
right,
with
okay.
the first sambal.
I think it's more like chili crisps.
Yeah, something similar, right? Now, Arieff learned from the last episode.
okay, so what do
Don't
you-
take a big bite, right?
Sorry.
This
Why?
is murdering me at this point, right?
Really?
I don't know if you can see because I don't have hair.
If you want water, we can get you water already.
Yeah, no, wait for the water. We got water coming out already.
It's going to be a cloud above Rose's head later, right?
No, you will see the smoke.
Now,
Yeah.
why did we bring a comedian to talk about mental health? Because comedians have got like a layer, right?
Yes.
A layer on top. So, are comedians always happy as they seem on stage?
It's actually been scientifically proven that because we fake happiness so much, our brain sometimes thinks like, oh, you no need happy, ah. Nah,
Really?
okay lah, enough lah.
We gotta lay off on the comedy content, man.
Yeah. Damn, really?
No. When you listen to comedy, that's real happiness. When you do comedy, that's when you fake happiness.
Right.
You have to because there's a lot of things you're dealing with,
Yeah.
and then you don't have time to kind of feel the emotions of what you're saying. So most of the time, what we do is we put out a facade. It's kind of like a script, right? When you read a script, you know, okay, I'm supposed to be angry at this point, right?
Yeah,
You're not really angry, are you? You're just like, "Argh." Okay, this
That's
is
bro
this
is
is not
angry.
my audition for acting.
Yeah. It's bro Godzilla or what?
Papa Bear, bro.
Papa Bear. You know what you just said now about when you're on stage, you give like an act, right? Where you
Yeah.
perform, you're happy. You still do that on social media? Same thing?
Of course.
Huh?
You think my life is real, lah?
So are you like that on social media and in real life or no?
Obviously, on social media, you only show the good parts. You
Yeah,
don't show
yeah,
the
yeah.
bad parts, right? You don't show, you know, I've gone through depression and mental health problems and all that, but I've never put that up on social media until
obviously.
recently, lah. You know, people need to get out of this stigma.
Yeah.
Okay, so my family doesn't understand mental health.
Not just your family.
No,
Every
not my-
Asian family.
I'm not talking about my wife and my kid, right? I'm talking
Your
about my
parents,
parents, my uncle, my
Parents.
auntie. You
Yeah.
know, when they think mental health is something like, oh, you cuckoo already, ah.
Oh, God.
Oh, chowtut already, ah. No, you know what I mean? Like, my uncle actually said these words. Like
Really?
when he found out that I was going for therapy. Hey, you cuckoo already, ah. If I can put this out on social media and show that no, not just you are not the only one going through this. Everybody is. I feel like at least I've done some service.
This whole thing with putting on a persona, when you see stuff online, do you think it's all bullshit?
Yeah,
Like
pretty
that?
much. No, social media is such a lie. Okay,
Yeah,
we
I mean-
all know this. You have been on
Yeah,
social media.
yeah.
You have been on social media. It's a social media facade, right? Social media is a chase for likes. It's a chase for attention. And let's be honest, that's why I do comedy as well, right? Because I was not loved or hugged enough as a child, and now I'm trying to get that with masses of people laughing at
Do you
me.
ask for hugs afterwards? Like, hey guys, there's a show. Can I have some hugs, please?
I substitute laughter with hugs. So, to be fair, I get enough. I mean, and social media is the same thing. Like, you know, how people don't get gratification in their life, so they go on social media to get the likes. Like, you know, you got 30 likes, 30 people like this, you know. Like, so it becomes like an addiction. It becomes like a...
Sure,
like, I'm
yeah, for
chasing this
sure.
dopamine from somewhere that I'm not getting from somewhere else.
But do you do that? Like, do you fake happy on social media?
I try not to lah. I try not to.
That's good. He has a responsibility behind it.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah, that's
Nice. On that, let's move up to our sambal number 2.
I have to say this is the cheapest date I've ever been on. Usually people don't, you know, get me on a Chinese banquet table.
No, it's just missing the round thing.
So I'm sure you've had this, Kavin, before, where let's say you're about to go on stage, but you're feeling like the lowest mood. You're feeling like you don't want to be there. Like, screw this, I want to go home. Like, once you get on there, how do you change to be like super happy and the personality comes out? How does it work?
It's cocaine.
I fucking knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to tell his eyes he was about to say something stupid.
I remember once I went on stage and my mom had just been diagnosed with cancer.
Oh my God, man.
Right? And even the doctors were like, let's get your expectations.
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
And I had to go on stage right after that. And
Damn.
it's hard, but I've always been able to compartmentalize. Like whenever the camera rolls or I'm on stage, I forget about everything and this is this. It's going to be very hard for me to kind of just switch, right? But it's a job, right? That's what we do. We all do this.
Do you ever use it as like a way in the show? Like, you can use it in the show to explain like a story and how things are for you right now.
The last special I did was about going through infertility. It's one of those things where it's very emasculating as a man to find out you can I have children?
No bullets.
Balls. Yeah lah.
No bullets in the chamber.
Apparently the medical term is lazy sperm.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
Is that the actual term?
How did you know? You look through the microscope, the sperm's like. You go first.
lari.
No, you.
Sim. Penat lah Syah.
Hey, you go first, You go first. No, but the thing is, it's very emasculating. And the thing is, you cannot talk to your friends about this kind of things. Just imagine this, just us hanging out, right? It's just, hey, cheers, brother. Hey, by the way, my sperm doesn't work anymore. Like,
Really?
If you bring it up to family members, even worse.
Yeah.
Because you get medical advice from people who've never been through the medical industry, right?
Yeah,
They'll
Dad,
come
what
and,
you said.
yeah,
Cuckoo also.
don't worry. You drink what the turmeric.
Ginger
Oh,
tonic.
it's always like this, right?
Ginger tonic. You will be fine, lah. Don't worry. You eat 3 raw eggs.
Raw garlic.
Raw garlic. Everything gets salmonella, and then you will be fine. So after the pandemic, I realized that one of my friends actually committed suicide.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I feel like I was responsible.
Why?
Because I feel like, if I just knew that he was going through something and if I knew that I could just hang out with him or talk to him or, know that he was going through this and checked up on him enough, then maybe, I could have prevented something. I know I'm not responsible, but I feel like I am.
You never know though, right?
Yeah.
You never know. It's like impossible for anyone to know like what's going on inside here.
Yeah, because
right?
sometimes like men, when you ask them, how are you, bro? Yeah, I'm fine.
Fine.
They
Okay,
never
yeah.
express out their
Yeah.
feelings because it's just not our thing.
Yeah.
People know you as a comedian, right? Do you ever encounter people where they don't view you as a human because you're always on the comedy side? Because I get it sometimes when I see someone who doesn't know me and then somebody introduce me as, oh, he does comedy content. And then they'll say, oh, make a joke.
Yeah, no, I get that all the time.
I fucking hate
So
that, man.
awkward, right?
But you
So-
see, this is the only profession that you get that, right? You don't get, if people walk up, hey, what are you, engineer? Engineer something?
Design a bridge.
Design a bridge for me. Like, you can't do that, right? The worst one is when they try to tell you a joke.
Oh no.
Hey, you can use this, you can
no.
use... And it's the
Yeah.
most racist joke I've ever heard in my entire life that should not be repeated anywhere in any situation.
Yeah.
But somehow they'll be like, hey, you can use that. You can use.
Okay, let's move on to our next sambal. Sambal number 3.
This one does have a kick at the end. Like it's sweet, but then... No, this one straight up.
We can't
This one-
stop starting with this
No,
one.
this one straight up fist you, right? Wait, hold on, that came out wrong.
I've had this man in the UK, but have your parents ever said to you like, hey, during our time, we didn't have time for depression.
Yes.
We don't have time for that. We're so busy with our things.
I think also during that time, it wasn't the Great Depression.
yeah, right.
They
Did you
lived-
name
they
it?
No, yeah. No,
Yeah.
but yes, uncles and aunties, they love this, hey, during my time, I have no time for it. You know what I had time for? Climbing up the hill to go to school.
It's always
then
like this, yeah.
Climbing up the same hill again to get back home.
Do you get people like older generation say to you, this is for rich people
Yes.
therapy, this kind of thing?
My mom actually said, why are you wasting money?
Oh,
Why
money.
are you wasting money on therapy? Like, why are you paying this? You talk to me, lah. Like, Dad, talk to me. I do it for free. And I'm like, the reason I don't talk to you is because you are my stress.
Yeah.
You are the reason.
Source of it.
You are the reason I am like this. Okay?
Right, let's move on to sambal number 4.
Kavin Jay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was it?
No.
Bitter, right?
Yeah. No, I feel like it's a bit raw.
If you're actually thinking seriously about it, with let's think of our parents' generation, right? Mate, our generation a bit different, but close enough. Whatever.
Okay.
Do you think they actually went through mental struggles and they just hid it totally?
100%.
Or do you think there's actually more reasons to have mental struggles now?
I just think that it's more out there.
Right.
You hear about it more because you're on social media. Now that you go on the internet, there's just news 24 hours. So they have to fill up with all those kind of things, right? We know about it more, but not necessarily it's happening more.
The spice is coming out. You see it.
Yeah,
Do you want some drink? You
No,
can get
no.
a drink. You can get one. It's fine.
I will hold out as long as I can.
So Kavin, you have a kid, right? You have children?
I have one.
Okay.
She's 12.
Does she get stressed or
Oh, all the time. Like
Okay.
I feel like she's simply getting stressed out.
was there a moment that you felt like, oh, this is more than stress? This is something else?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, all the
Yeah?
time. Like I do feel sorry for her because like, you know, when I was a kid, I grew up with ADHD and dyslexia. I think you know about this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it was so stressful because I cannot tell anybody. Also, I don't know, right? You know, this is something that's happening to me. Everybody else seems normal. I got problem. Even if I did tell my parents, they'd be like, "No lah, you just stupid.
Just stupid.
You just stupid." I realized that I can't be the same dad that my dad was to me.
Yeah, of
right?
course,
So
yeah.
I'm very different with my kid. Like, there's 3 things I tell her, right? One is that you can tell me anything, and I will not react badly, even
Okay.
if you committed a crime.
Oh.
You can tell me, and I will do my best to help you out of the situation, right? So I'm always going to be there for you, and not for disciplining you.
Basically talking to her as a friend.
As a friend,
an
as a
adult.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a-
This is very. I
yeah.
think this is actually like the new way of parenting, isn't
Yeah,
it?
which
Almost.
is good.
Yeah, it's good,
It
right?
evolved, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
because
yeah.
of that, like she's already had 2 boyfriends. She told me about it, and
Oh.
inside every cell of my body wanted
like-
to murder that fella. But outside, I had to show like, oh yeah, cool.
That's
yeah,
nice,
That's
yeah.
nice. Tell me more about him. Tell me more about this. Tell me more about that. So that she keeps talking about it. So she's more comfortable. with
Which is
that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My relationship with my dad is my dad knows I exist. So
Oh wow. Right. Next sambal. Let's move on.
Bapa kau merah. This one has a sour taste to it, which is nice.
Actually, it tastes quite nice. This one. Yeah.
Yeah, this one
Think about
actually
that.
tastes like there's a
It's a
profile,
flavour, right?
There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
profile of flavor. There's a hint of mahogany.
Going back to your daughter, Kavin, right? So you said just now that she can come to you and she can talk to you about all these things, stuff like that. Does she ever talk to you about bullying or feeling like she's being bullied?
I mean, she herself has been bullied before, obviously.
She also bully people.
No. She's very timid, but also like she doesn't like bullying. Right?
Okay.
So when she sees someone else get bullied, she kind of stands up for them.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
which is
good.
nice, right?
Yeah.
Because she has some friends who are kind of bullies, and when they bully others, she kind of speaks up for them. Like I proud father,
Yeah, that's-
superhero, Captain
Heroin,
America.
heroin,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Ah.
nice. That's nice.
I like to think that I had a role to play in that. Hopefully, I gave her enough guidance for her to realize that. But I gave her as much credit as well. I think she is a good person at heart. Like, I remember once when she was a kid. So one day my wife was not around, so she was like, "Can you tell me a story?" I'm like, "Okay." I actually made up a story about how like I don't care about grades. Like grades are not important. Like if you get a D, it's fine as long as you're a decent human being. And she kind of went like, "This is the worst story I've ever heard."
I don't want to hear about no education story.
But at the end of the day, I think she took the message, I hope, right? To be a decent person rather than grades. She gets good grades as well, don't get me wrong.
Do you like ever get concerned about cyberbullying? Because I think all 3 of us, as like people in the spotlight at some point, have very much gone through this kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
very publicly as well.
yeah. Do you ever get nervous about it? Because I don't think she uses social media yet, right, your daughter?
She does have a TikTok account. I do check her messages. You kind of have to. It's
Yeah,
not like
of
I
course,
want to.
of course.
Like I feel like you should have your privacy, but
Yeah.
I still have to go through them, right? And so far there's not been any cases of that. I am worried. Yes, I mean as far as I'm worried about bullying, I'm more worried about creeps. But yeah, cyberbullying is a thing. Now, like, if someone cyberbullies your kid, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like,
What can you do?
What can you do?
Right,
Right?
exactly.
You make police report and then what?
Yeah.
And then what? Like the Windows 95 computer, you have to stay there. Saya pada pukul 5 tiba-tiba ada orang membuli anak saya. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's true, right?
Okay, let's move on.
Yes.
To our next sambal.
Oh yes.
We'll see if that cloud starts forming over his head or not. He needs some water now. This is totally random, but do you think you could actually die from like too much spice?
I think you can.
I think you can as well.
I think your anus
you
will
could?
explode. Let me tell you a story. It was a big show in HGH, right? We came in early for rehearsal. I was very hungry. So I was just so hungry, and then Papi Zai looked at me and said, "Hey, would you like a burrito?" I'm like, "Sure."
Oh.
Yeah.
So I eat it very fast, and I didn't realize he put habanero sauce. It
On
was
purpose
70%.
or what?
No. That's
Like
how
Banjir.
that's how he likes it because he bought it for himself, but he's not
Okay,
eating it, so he gave
okay.
me. And then I started testing 1, 2, tears started coming, right? And then the sound guy who was the opposite end of the room on the PA system goes, "Kavin, are you crying?"
Really?
I really
Yeah.
didn't see it.
I was like,
Oh my god.
testing 1, 2.
Confirm kena prank lah.
Oh, dude! Like before the show, I had to go to the toilet.
Ah.
I had to sit there for like 3 hours, like just praying.
Yeah,
The
praying.
toilet paper I put in the freezer, just to
Yeah.
wet first and then put the freezer. And then but very hard to take out.
Who needs it?
I feel like we brought Kavin here to talk about mental health, and we're like,
Here we
the mental
are.
health is here, and we've gone. Have you ever tried frozen toilet paper with spicy food? Huh?
We went from mental health to anal health.
I don't know if you've seen, but there was a news recently or a little while ago about this girl who committed suicide, right?
Yeah.
Because she went through some bullying
Bullying,
and stuff
yeah.
like that, and it's been big news, as it should be, right?
Yeah,
I'm glad it is. But like, as a parent, what do you think when you see something like that?
This is how I felt with my friend when he this thing, and I felt so responsible. Can you imagine if it was my child? I would be even more responsible. Like it would be my fault. Like I could have done better. Just talk to her or just be a better friend and a parent. You know what I mean? Like because in Asia, being a parent means
Disciplining your kid.
being feared.
Yeah,
Being feared is the most important thing, right? They don't realize that sometimes they also need a companion.
Yeah.
Because they are the first people that you know.
Yeah, true.
Right? You don't know anybody, you just know your parents. If something like that would happen to me, it would destroy me, dude. This would be like it would be my fault, right? And that's the worst part. Like everybody should realize they should know about mental health before it gets to that.
When she goes to school, right, your influence on her is left right behind, right?
Yeah.
She starts to get influenced by the
Yeah.
school and
Yeah.
the friends and the teachers, stuff like that.
True.
So do you think there's enough of it actually being taught at school or awareness at school of
Because
like
if you
what
remember,
emotional
I don't know
mental
if in
health
the
is?
UK, do they have that in the UK?
I actually don't know. During when I was at school, no, we didn't.
Yeah,
have.
same.
Yeah. I mean, when I was in school, dude, mental health.
You forget this guy, like the Flintstones, like that.
During my time, don't need to talk lah. That one,
Yeah.
mental health was not a thing. They didn't know your brain can have problem. They don't know, right?
Really?
For them, health is, you don't have diabetes, you are healthy.
Yeah.
Right? I think schools have come to a point where they do have awareness, nowhere close to enough,
Yeah.
but there is some semblance. I think kids nowadays are a lot better than what we were. Right? We were just scared of our parents and we just didn't do anything. If we ever voiced out half of the things they voiced out, we will not be here today. Okay? We will be in a cage. At minimum.
Your parents had like a favorite weapon or something, was it?
My father had a beating belt.
A beating belt.
A beating belt.
What was the
he
worst?
had three
What was the
belts.
worst? Okay, let's-
Yo, dude, you are going to lose.
Hey, no competition. No competition.
It's not a
Okay,
competition,
you
but-
pick one, pick one.
Pick one.
Pick one, Ryan, pick one.
Okay, I got tied to a tree.
Was it like blaring hot sun?
Yeah, it was
crows,
outside.
Vultures outside.
No,
Like,
ants at least. It was a mango tree. So yeah, there was a lot of
remembers
ants.
the tree.
I know it was the tree in front of my house.
Damn.
Like this was borderline slavery stuff. Okay,
This
is
is Egypt,
this is
bro.
1820. I was tied to a tree. The only thing missing was the whipping that I got. I know you didn't ask, but let me tell you my crime. Right?
Yeah, please,
I
please.
I roasted a lizard under the bed. Now. It was
Enjoy
a
it.
scientific experiment. All right.
I wonder what happened.
Yeah. You know when you're a kid, you're like,
Yeah.
hey, what will happen if I put something on a fire?
Bro, I was just curious.
Yeah, I was just curious.
Okay, so let me tell you about my punishment.
Okay.
My worst punishment ever. If I remember correctly,
Okay, because if it's a bad punishment, you will remember for the rest of your
Right.
life.
This
No,
guy
I-
remembers the tree he was tied to, right?
no, I was gonna say if I remember correctly how old I
Okay,
was.
okay.
So my dad took my hand, dragged me into the kitchen, and put my hand over the fire for at least 5 seconds. No. Until it was like red. And the reason why is because he caught me stealing from him. But that was the punishment, and after that, I never stole again.
Of course, yeah, of course.
But it was crazy though. He was like, no!
Yeah, right? I can't believe we went from your story to a mango tree. You were set on fire.
And we had this guy.
Now
We're going to
descending order.
Please share what you think is like the normal British punishments.
Oh, it's very simple. It's like when you do something and then your mom comes up to you and say, "Hey,
So nothing, right?
don't do again, huh?"
Yeah, which is true. There really isn't much. But there was one time when I was like, imagine I'm 8, 9 years old, right? And I wanted to go play football with my friends. I can't remember why, but she wouldn't let me go. You got to stay home. And we were backwards, forwards. And in the end, as a 9-year-old kid, I told my mum to fuck off. And you're like, what a little shit, right? What a little shit. Mate, fuck off, like that. So my mum went and equipped herself with a spatula from the kitchen,
Okay.
right? And she then hit me on like the back and the butt. No face on it, the back and the butt a few times with it. Yeah, and it freaking hurts, bro, 'cause it's just flat and makes like a noise to it. Oh.
No, you don't need to tell us it hurts. We know, we've been hit by a
Sorry.
spatula.
I forgot this guy was a pro.
What is it?
Pipe guitar.
Pipe guitar.
Guitar, bro.
My father had 3 belts. One is going out belt, one is work belt, and one is beating belt. The beating belt is always the nicest
You
one.
see the beating back Final Boss music.
No, you have to go and bring it. You have to go bring the belt.
You have to
Come
get
on, man.
the thing you're going to get punished
Yes,
by.
the thing is, if you don't go and get it, the beating is worse.
Psychological punishment.
Yeah.
Lose situation.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to our second last sambal.
This is my punishment, lah.
Yeah, this is
yeah,
your
yeah.
punishment. He's not preparing himself. Right, at the
No,
beginning.
that's what I don't like about chilies, you know. Like it doesn't. It's very deceiving. You like, ah.
Yeah, right. Immediately.
It's like having sex with a transgender when you're drunk.
Ah.
What did you just say? You went.
It's like having sex with a man when you're drunk at night.
Okay.
You only realize tomorrow morning. The night before, like, sedap lah, deh. And then the next morning when you're sober, like, oh my god, kenapa ada sosis?
Also, like we cannot, like connect with you there. Like there was.
Yeah, I was
both
like-
of us were like, oh my god, where is he
started-
going with this? How are we gonna follow him? Like, what? No. Wait.
You mumbled like crazy, and then you started off. When you have sex with a man, I was like, okay, right. So let's listen to this.
Yeah.
My God. Even in the whole time we're working together, I'm not really sure now how to bring it back to the main subject of mental health.
That sounds like it came from experience. It sounds like a memory, if I remember correctly.
Back in the day. No more sausage topics.
no more sausage
Things like that. Why do you think, Kavin, that mental health in Malaysia has such a bad stigma? Where does it come from?
That is Tanjung Rambutan.
Isn't it the hospital or or
Yes,
something?
it is a mental health hospital.
Right.
It's a psychiatric hospital. There's always been a stigma to the hospital that it's like Arkham, rather than a mental health facility.
Prison slash
Yeah.
hospital.
It's not, but it's the stigma of it. So that's why I feel like mental health in Malaysia or in Asia especially has become such a stigma because of things like that. When they use things as a threat. I remember when I was a kid, that used to be the threat. Like, hey, if you do something crazy, we'll send you to Tanjung Rambutan. No, it's passed down from generation to generation, right? It's a lot less because the desensitization, but before there was no desensitization. But in the kampongs, do you think they go to therapy? No, of course not, right?
They pergi berubat.
Pergi berubat. Urut batin.
But do you think like because of the cost of a therapy session is an issue that people don't go to therapy in
No,
Malaysia?
of course.
It's
It's
a few 200 ringgit per hour.
per hour.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a difference between psychiatrists and psychologists. Like clinical psychologists, they can give you advice, but they cannot give you drugs. Whereas psychiatrists can give you advice and drugs.
Or both.
So obviously, this one is more expensive. This one is cheaper. I'm very lucky because my therapist is my best friend from school. Like, can you imagine? If you're going to therapy, you're telling a stranger your problems. As Asians, we've always been taught don't burden other people with problems.
But isn't that like their job to like PNC kind of thing?
And also,
Yes.
isn't that the best for some people? Because you
yeah,
feel like
because you don't know them.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're not
It's
burdened
just
down by
venting
the
out,
guilt,
yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
or
No,
the
yeah, but
embarrassment.
it could go one of two ways. Like for me, it's very hard for me to open up to a stranger. It's hard, you know. It's hard to open up to someone who you don't know. It takes time for you to build that relationship, for you to open up to someone.
So this is a therapy session.
It is, yeah.
No, it is.
It's
No.
a date and a session.
A lot of people don't realize sometimes a group of friends can be better than therapy. right?
Yeah, I
For
mean,
sure,
obviously,
yeah.
right?
The only problem is a group of friends are idiots, right? Especially a group of male friends. How many times have you sat with your friend, a group of friends, and told each other your problems?
Yeah, no.
Not much. Not much.
It's never happened. Why? Because it's gay. Not in the broad terms of the sense, but you know what I mean,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, as a man, I feel like it's so hard for me to talk about my problems. I cannot. Like, who do I talk to? There's nobody. Like, I can't talk to my friends.
So how would, let's say, a person ask someone to basically like ask them to open up
Right.
instead of just a normal like, how are you? You okay?
The thing is, I think we all have the responsibility to kind of learn how to communicate with a friend. Like last time during the pandemic, I used to send out messages, and when they get the message, they'll be like, either I don't get a reply or I get a very long reply.
So I think a lot of men actually do come out and say what they're going through, and women as well. But the actual problem is knowing how to listen.
Yeah.
And then how to say things afterwards. Because there are so many guys out there where you will say something to them and they go,
Yeah. Oh.
Hey,
Okay.
don't be gay lah.
yeah, like this, right? They don't know what to say because they
Yeah,
find it
true.
awkward, or they
Yeah.
want to help but they don't know how to help.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah.
that's what you need, right?
And I'm not trying to be bad. It's just, this is what was said to me. Like when I try to talk to people, they were like, hey, don't be gay lah. Like a lot of people need to realize that you just need to listen. You just need to be there. You just
Yeah.
need to not react negatively to what these people are saying.
I think there's something I want to say, but let's do our last sambal.
And I got a special name for this sambal.
Oh yeah, what was it?
Basically, what I'm saying is this sambal is going to be a pain in the ass.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
I knew it.
And it's orange. So let's call it the Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. I quite like that actually.
That's quite smart. Yeah.
We've been laughing a lot at this. It's still like a delicate
Yeah.
subject, right?
Yeah,
so let's
yeah.
say like, I don't know, at some point your daughter is watching this, right?
Right.
And so what's one thing that you'd want your daughter to remember and know
Right.
about mental health after watching this?
Actually, this doesn't just go out to my daughter, right? This goes out to everyone. Just know that home is safe. Come home. When I say home, I don't mean home like your house. I mean
Comfort
your
place
comfort
lah.
place.
Yeah.
The person you're closest to. Come home. That home will always be there for you, no matter how old you grow, no matter how bad things are. I use this metaphor because I feel like in mental health as well, when you get lost in your head, come home.
That's
Come
nice,
home
I think.
to
That's
to
very-
someone that is your anchor.
Very nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thanks for sharing that.
No worries.
That was good. That was really
Off the
good.
top of my head as well.
Yeah.
I thought about it a lot.
Back to the sausage. But anyway, before we let you go today, Kavin, give us a share of what's going on for you at the moment.
So I just came back from Thailand, tour of Thailand. I did Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Pattaya, which was fun. Banyak sausage, bro.
Yeah, I know.
And then, right, planning a tour of Malaysia.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's going to be like probably end of the year. But I'm trying to add more places. Like I did Seremban just a few weeks ago. So I got a good reception there. So I'm thinking Ipoh.
Okay.
You know, I'm thinking maybe, you know, down Melaka.
What's the name gonna be? Planning, right?
Planning.
right.
When I say planning, I mean I thought about it. And
It's an idea.
hopefully it all works out lah.
Tengoklah macam mana.
Tengoklah macam mana. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Kavin, for today.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
I really enjoyed the sambals as well.
Did
Except
you
for-
actually?
Yeah, no, okay, this one I didn't enjoy, this one I didn't enjoy, but the rest of it,
Not bad, huh?
not bad. I really like this one.
Yeah.
No, it's a bit spicy.
I'm taking this home.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Please,
I mean-
go ahead. Kavin Jay, everybody!
You need a mirror and
No.
credit card.
Lowness, the Chinese way. Wah, not bad, ah,